have to learn to think differently. And that's a difficult thing when you first become a Christian, is to think differently than the world thinks. You want to bring that in with you, thinking, no, this is how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to give my heart to Jesus. And we hear about that all the time. Give your heart to Jesus. But we also have to give our mind to Jesus. How else can we love the Lord our God with all our mind if we don't give it to Him? If we don't connect with Him and His way of thinking. See, it was hard even for the Israelites when they escaped Egypt. You know, they got to the Red Sea and they started freaking out. Oh no, the Egyptian army's coming after us. We're trapped. We're going to die. And God says, no, I got this. But you got to stop thinking in a worldly way, in a natural way. See, you and I, if we'd have been in that situation, the first thing we thought about, man, we got to build some boats. How else are we going to get it? That's the worldly thinking. That's natural thinking. And God says, no, how about if I just part the sea and we cross on dry land? And we sit there going, no. How's that going to happen? That's not normal. And God says, that's right. That's not normal. That's not a normal way of thinking. In Romans 12:2 it says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, we have to learn to think differently. We cannot think like the world. We cannot solve our problems like the world would. We cannot live our lives like the world would. We have to think differently. We have to think in a very supernatural way. We cannot think in a natural way. You know, it's just normal, I think, for us to fall back on the things that we know. To use our mind, to use our thoughts, to use our ideas when we encounter difficulties, or when we do anything, and how we operate as Christians. But God says, I've separated you, and I've separated you for a reason. And if you're separated, that means there's something different about you. There's something special about you that God has separated you. I always like to use the analogy, it's like picking teams. Remember when you're in school and you pick teams? Well, God said, you, and you, and you are on my team, and you are on my team. And I always like that. I'm glad He picked me, we win. It's God, you know, how can we lose, right? But you have to change your mind and how you think. There has to be renewing of your mind. It says what? So that you may prove what the will of God is. When we want to talk to people about Jesus, about God, we sound crazy. We sound like we've lost our minds. Jesus died and went to the cross for our sins. What? That doesn't make sense. Why would He do it that way? Because He's an extraordinary God who does things in extraordinary ways. Like parting the Red Sea. When the Israelites got past the Red Sea and they started grumbling, they were hungry. You know, you and I, we're like, let's find a pasture of cows. I'm hungry. He says, no, manna from heaven. Wait a minute. That just doesn't make sense. But if you start thinking differently, you start finding His truths where they should be. Not in the world, but from Him. In His Word. See, the Bible provides us with a whole new way of thinking. And the world always is combating that way of thinking because it's not natural. Well, no, God is supernatural, so we should think in a very supernatural way. We have to stop using our minds and start using the mind of God in how we live, how we solve our problems, how we go through relationships. Every aspect of our life has to be done in how He sees it. God has a great view. You know, he sees us and He sees everything around us and how it's working. We don't have that perspective. We only see what's in front of us. But we have to change the way we see things, a different angle. You know, I did stand-up comedy for 13 years, and the stand-up comedy is seeing things from a different perspective. It's looking at things from a different angle. That's what usually makes it funny. If you take people down a certain path and you make a hard right or a hard left, and they didn't expect that because, see, you're presenting it and doing it in a completely different way than what's expected. God does the same thing. He says you have to look at it from outside the norm. You have to renew your mind. You have to how you see things. You have to change how you do things. And it's hard because we're stubborn. We get stuck in our ways. We call them habits. Yes, that's what they are. Sometimes almost an addiction to doing things a certain way. I think there's a term for it, I forgot what it's called, something disorder, or compulsive disorder, where you do things a certain way, and you like things in a certain way. Well, yeah, well, so does God. And He likes His people to behave in a certain way and to do things in a certain way. But the only way we can do that is by changing how we do things, how we think, how we process things. I had to learn to slow down as a Christian because in the world we're so fast-paced that when something happened, I respond right away. And I had to learn that God's ways, wait a minute, hey, take a minute, pause. I don't want to respond in my way. I want to respond in the way that God wants me to respond. I want to react in the way that He wants me to react. And that's a renewing of the mind, a changing who you are. That's why we're born again. We're given an opportunity to do things in a very different way, to see things in a very different way. And it's refreshing. And it's amazing when you start to learn to see things as God starts seeing things, you start to see God a whole lot more. You start to recognize His works and His hands in many people's lives, including your own. And it's wonderful. And Isaiah 55:8, which is up here, and it's funny, I think it's ironic that our reading was at 55:7. We'll just take it. That's the God working thing, and that's where you just kind of smile and go, I love it. But 55:8 says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. See, God says, I don't do things the way you think I should do things. I don't respond and react the way you think I should. My thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. I'm not going to do it the way you think it should be done. We have very limited knowledge. We have at our disposal the Creator of all things. Why would we not draw upon that knowledge when we come up against anything in our lives? When we have to make any sort of decision in our life. I don't care if it's a decision about a job, perhaps a marriage, relationship. Why not confer with Him who knows everything? See, in comparison, I know that I'm just dumber than a box of rocks when it comes to God. And if I know that I have this limited knowledge, why not go to the resource that's been given to you? One, the Holy Spirit. Just draw upon that power of that Holy Spirit to lead your ways, to direct your steps. How often do we do that? Sometimes we just do things. And then we go, oh, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it that way. I should have done it differently. God says, well, if you would have waited for me, if you would have called upon me, I would have showed you how to do that. A lot of times we get so ahead of ourselves in doing things that we get so far down the road that by the time we get there and it turns into an utter disaster, we're like, oh, how did I get in this mess? And God says, because you didn't wait for me. Instead, you decided just to pursue what you knew. You had your own roadmap in your mind, and that's the direction you followed. Well, I have a different direction. I mean, let's look at the Israelites' travels from Egypt. Did they take the shortest route? No! See, but you and I would go, man, let's take the short way. Let's go the easy way. And God says, no, my ways are not your ways. Follow my ways. Renew your mind. Think differently. Lose your mind. Lose everything you know. You know, the second time I really heard, have you lost your mind, is when I became a Christian. And my family looked at me and said, have you lost your mind? And I know now my response probably should have been no, but I'm going to. I think it's a great place to be when you can think differently. The one thing I've learned to do is to slow down and try to look at things from different angles. When a difficult time presents itself in my life, or just a decision. Right now I'm facing a decision where, in my life, downsizing our house and my wife selling her business. Okay, God, what do you got? I'm going to wait for you. Before I would have probably been looking for a house. I probably would have bought another house, and it would have been the wrong place at the wrong time, and I'd have been standing there going, how'd I get in this now? mind means you get a chance to slow down, you get a chance to draw upon those resources. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14 says, but a natural man does not accept the things of the Spirit of God. See, we fight against it. Because it's not the answer we want. Natural man does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him, and he cannot understand it. No, we can't. Not unless we have this connection with God, where our thinking is changed and we start to think more like Him. Where the unnatural becomes the natural way. Where manna falling from heaven is just another day in Paw Paw. It's just, the parting of the Red Sea that's perfectly natural. Plagues in order to get someone down. Okay. Taking clay, spitting in it, slapping it in someone's eyes and healing their blindness. That's just a normal way to do things. See, we look at that as being just kind of weird, and that's not the normal way you would do things, but that's the way God does things. If you look at Jesus' miracles, there was amazing things that were connected to that. But we have a hard time understanding when God does something extraordinary like that because it doesn't make sense to our natural way of thinking. And we even have a hard time believing that those things can still occur. We talk about healing all the time, but how many of us truly, when we're praying over somebody, believes without a doubt that that person is going to get up and walk who can't walk? That that person is going to be able to see who can't see? That that cancer that was on him is going to go away entirely? Because the world keeps telling us that that's not how things work. But once you experience God's hand in a miraculous way, you can't help but believe every single thing about it. And I've had the joy of seeing God's miracles work in people. I've seen people heal. I shared the story, actually last week, I'm going to share the story very quickly this week. An 80-year-old man man in his 80s, the name of Mr. George, who I used to worship at another church with. He played with Lawrence Welch, beautiful trombone player, had a bad heart valve, had a bad valve. And, normally they would bypass it, they would take a vein from your leg, but because he was in his 80s, the veins in his leg just weren't strong enough to use. And so he just said, when he stood before the church, he said, do me a favor. He said, I just want prayer. I know God can heal. And the church laid hands and we prayed over him. And weeks later, he came back from visiting the doctor and it's reported that the doctors were astounded because his body was growing a different artery around the bad one. That's not normal. Your body just doesn't go, oh, that's blocked here, I will build a road around it. And yet it was happening, and doctors could not figure it out, but we all know it was. That's the way God works in extraordinary ways. When you experience that, when you see it, when you have doctors just dumbfounded and cannot figure out how this man in his 80s is growing a new artery around the blockage, it just makes you go, hallelujah. Our God is extraordinary, and this is how He works. We're not spiders. We don't grow limbs when they fall off, regrow. Doesn't mean it can't happen. See, when you tell the world that, they're going, no, that doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does. Anything is possible with God. But you have to change your way of thinking. How can you pray without doubt if you don't change your mind and how you see it? The Bible tells you to pray. Pray without a doubt. And it will happen. Renewing of your mind. The natural man does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him, and he cannot understand them, because they are spiritually appraised. They're outside the realm of normal. But he who is spiritual appraises all things. The word appraise means to evaluate, to find a significance in it, to look at it from a different way. When somebody appraises your home, they don't just stand outside and go, yep, all right, that's worth about $200,000. Because you'd be going, no, you need to come inside and see what's inside here. And the value will definitely go up. So inside your mind, you look at something, you appraise it, the value, you look deeper, you look inside of it. Then you hold on to it. And anything from God, I want to look deeper into it. And so should you. I think we've all probably read the Bible. We've read several passages over and over. And every time we read it, we find new meaning. Because it has depth to it. And everything that God presents before us is much deeper than it appears on the surface. For who has known the Lord, the mind of the Lord that he will instruct him. We can't tell him how to do things, and we shouldn't even try. We can ask. But then you better look for the answer in a very supernatural way, not the normal. Proverbs says, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge. Apply your mind to my knowledge. Not just your heart, apply your mind to my knowledge. What I'm giving you, start looking at it and seeing the value in it. And have a greater understanding of it. Romans 8:6, for the mindset on the flesh is death, but the mindset on the spirit is life and peace. Wow, I think we could all use a little more peace in our life, don't you think? Sometimes life is just moving too fast and things are going on around us and we just want to sometimes stop, take a breath, get kind of stressed out. I was talking to somebody the other day, tell me about the stress in their life. I go, have you slowed down? Well, I can't slow down. You have to. What are you stressing about? Start evaluating what you're stressing about. See the true value in it. How do I get past that thing that's giving me all the stress? Look at it from a different way. Not in a normal way. God, how can I handle this? How can I take care of this? A lot of times we bring so much of this on ourselves because it's just a normal way that we do it. And God says, do it my way, and guess what? It'll be a lot easier. Parting of the Red Sea was a lot easier letting God do it than us building a bunch of boats in order to get across, isn't it? Water beat from a rock, smack the rock. Guess what? There's water. Oh, we were going to go fetch it down at the well and carry it back to all the thousands. No, here, bam, there it is. Oh, okay, yeah, that was pretty good. Why didn't I think of that? Because you can't. Unless you have the mind of God, and the only way you find that out is you've got to read the Bible. You've got to read His Word to know how He thinks, how He works. And when you realize how He works, you're going to go, that's incredible. Nothing that He has done is ordinary. Read the Bible. You'll find that there's not one thing that He has done that is ordinary. In Psalms 26:2, we should be asking ourselves this. Examine me, O Lord, and try me. Test my mind and my heart. Lord, am I thinking your way? Not am I just loving others your way and having compassion for them in your way, but am I really thinking your way? I've got compassion and love in my heart, but am I using it in a way that makes sense to God, that God needs me to? Not what makes sense to the world. I had a little discussion with a young man over the weekend, during the week, about this bracelet that I have that I am second. And he goes, well, what does that mean? I go, it means I put God and all others before me. He said, well, you can't put all others before you. You got to take care of yourself first. I said, no. The natural way of thinking is, yes, I have to take care of me first. We live in a society that's all me, me, me. We have selfies everywhere. Social media is filled about everybody showing everybody else how important and wonderful their life is. I don't want to see one more plate of food. That's wonderful that you're eating something you like, but I don't need to see it. We live in a society that's very much about food, about themselves. Very much about themselves, and he could not comprehend the I am second ideology. And I told him, I said, even when my wife and I renewed our vows some years ago, we had a little gathering, a reception, and I told my guests to go ahead and eat. It was a buffet, so I said, eat, and this one woman kept arguing with me, well, you have to eat. You're the guest of honor. I said, no, God is the guest of honor, and He's blessed all this. He's blessed us with this stuff. Go ahead and eat. You are my guest. Eat. And she said, no, you and Janet have to go and get food first. I go, no. And I pointed to this, and she goes, well, that just doesn't work. And I said, absolutely it does. I said, look, there's plenty of food. It's not like I get to go and get my share before everybody else. I said, I'm feeding my guests first. And she just said, okay. Just didn't like the whole idea that I was letting her eat before me. But that's the normal, natural way that we are in society today. You know, if you had, you ever, I'm going to really bring this up, but like Black Friday, people are outside those doors. And when the doors open, everyone, they will hip check other people into an aisle of cereal just to get to those pajamas that are on sale or whatever. The people are out of their minds because it's all about me and what I want. God says, renew your mind, change your way of thinking. My wife and I have adopted a theory in our life, and I've shared this with other people before, and someone had shared with me, and this is why I really liked it. As far as our marriage, if I wake up every day, now obviously I want to please God, but my other goal is to please her, to make her happy. That's it. That's my focus. Of course, everyone's like, well, what about you? Guess what she's doing? Getting up every morning, wanting to make me happy. I'm going to get it. I'm going to be happy.